Hi guys, it's Miss Judy. I'm here with our family tree for week 2 of KFOT, Kids Formation Old Testament. The Old Testament tells us about the people and places and stories and celebrations that would have been known to Jesus and his followers. We can think of it as Jesus's family tree because it tells about all the things that would have been known to Jesus. And it helps us to know these things about Jesus. And also when we're reading in the New Testament, sometimes things from the Old Testament are mentioned. And it helps to be able to say, oh, I know who they're talking about. So this summer we're going to be learning about some things from the Old Testament. So about 4,000 years ago, there was a husband and wife named Abram and Sarai. And Abram and Sarai had faith in God. And when they felt that God was asking them to move far away, they did it. That was one of the ways that they showed their faith. God made promises with Abram and Sarai. And one of the ways that God made a sign of these promises was to change their names. God told Abram and Sarai that from now on they would be called Abraham and Sarah. And so Abraham and Sarah had faith in God and his promises. One of the promises God made to Abraham and Sarah was that their children, their descendants, their family would be as many people as there are stars in the sky, as many people as there are grains of sand on the seashore. Now both those numbers are so big that they can't be counted. And that's how big God said their family would be, their kids and their grandkids and their great, and so on, that they would be as many as the stars or the grains of sand. Now this must have felt like a really strange promise to Abraham and Sarah, because Abraham and Sarah were already like the age of a grandma and grandpa, but they didn't have any kids yet. So that must have felt like a really strange promise. But Abraham and Sarah continued to have faith in God and faith in God's promises. Now, Abraham is mentioned in the New Testament in several different places. One of the places we see Abraham's name is in the list that shows the family, the ancestry of Jesus. And Abraham is listed there. Another place that we read about people from the Old Testament is in the book of Hebrews, the New Testament book of Hebrews. And Abraham and Sarah are mentioned there as examples of faith, as people that we can look at their faith and we can be encouraged that we can have faith too. So on our family tree here, I've added 2 leaves, one with an A and one with an S, to remind us of Abraham and Sarah and their faith and their place on our family tree. Now also this summer, as we fill in our family tree, we're also going to hear from our church family. People in our church family have put together things to share with you, because we want you to always know that we are a church family and that you are an important part of that church family. So right now, we're going to share something from our church family.
Say hi, St. Barnabas.
Hi, St. Barnabas.
We are outside gonna do a little work in the garden today.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see my foot? See my foot.
We want to see your foot. We're gonna look at the garden. So here comes Edward.
Foot.
Here, come say hi, Edward.
Hi.
Hi. Give a wave. Okay, so in our garden, can I flip the
Hi,
screen
Mom.
though? This is our garden.
Uh-huh.
This particular first box is a bit overflowing because this basil went a little nuts. But we are here to pick our strawberries today. So
Yeah.
I have this lovely green fence over it because we have a lot of critters that like to eat our berries, and everything. Once a strawberry is red and ready to go, you just have to pinch it off at the stem. See if I can do it with one hand. And we can take it inside to wash it and eat it. I saw another one over here that was ready to go. I'll pull him out. He's a little tiny still. This is a young plant, but nice and red, ready to go.
And we can wash those strawberries.
Yeah, there was some more.
And then we can eat them. I really don't like strawberries, but I'll try a strawberry to eat.
You can see the little guys in there. There they are. They're gonna be ready in a couple days. They grow pretty fast. Also growing in here, I need to weed out all this basil, but there are blueberries and raspberry plants. Over here, we got watermelon started, peppers started, a lot of carrots in the middle, and then spinach and celery on the other side. And our last section over here has tomatoes and cucumbers.
I like cucumbers.
So that's what we've got going in our garden this year. Still a work in progress. I don't really like the green nets that I bought this year for it. I'd like to get one giant box and put up some proper chicken wire like I have around my compost bin back there. This year we also got a pool.
I can stand on the statue.
And Alice is standing as still as a statue. We spend a lot of time outdoors, and there's our playground that we play on too. We got our fire pit back there and our lights that turn on. We hope you love your backyard as much as we love ours. Bye. Alright, and one more thing, if you want to try to propagate your own celery, next time you buy some at the store, you can just chop off the bottom instead of throwing it away, or composting it. Put it in a jar with some water, put it in a windowsill with some good sunlight, and after a day or two, you can see this guy coming up. You should have some new sprouts coming up. Once plenty of new leaves are coming up, you just go put it in the ground.
Wasn't it nice to see some of our church family? Thank you to Miss Chelsea and to Alice and to Edward for sharing with us. I didn't know that you can grow your own celery. Did you know that? I hope all of you are having a chance to get outside when the weather is nice. If you're watching this on YouTube, in the comments, you can share some of the things that you're doing outside. If you're watching this on the St. Barnabas Facebook group, you can comment what you're doing outside, or you can even put a photo in the comments of yourself doing something outside. So I hope that you'll share with us so we can know what we're all doing during this time. Here's our family tree. We had Sarah and Abraham over here, and I added a C for Miss Chelsea, who just shared with us today. Before we go, I wanted to tell you that in the description of this video is a link to a YouTube animation about when Abram and Sarai became Abraham and Sarah. And that's in the description if you'd like to watch that. I really appreciate all the different content that people have shared on YouTube. So this is our family tree, and we're going to add to it each week during the summer. So we'll see you next week. Take care, guys.